I deserve to be a higher rank, but I'm stuck in 2K because my teammates hold me back. If you're one of these guys, then this video is for you. This video is going to be an in-depth analysis of how many mistakes an average 2K player makes in a single game. I'm going to go over every little detail, so be warned. It's going to be a long video, but will totally be worth it if you're serious about improving. Alright guys, the replay we're going to be doing today is a faceless void. And the purpose of this video is to make sure that every 2K gets something out of this and even further, right? Like if 3K or 4K or even 5K players can benefit from this. I'm going to go over every little detail from early itemization to pretty much everything, right? So let's start with that. So first of all, we need to see what kind of game this is for the Faceless Void, right? We see Sniper, Venomancer, Warlock, Viper, and Spectre in the enemy team. Notice how all of these heroes have one thing in common. They don't have any reliable catch, right? And Faceless Void as a hero loves it when the enemy does not have any catch. So it seems like a pretty good Faceless Void game, but at the same time, some of these heroes can be annoying for the Faceless Void. Like, for example, Venomancer is pretty annoying to deal with, and so is Viper. So when it comes to your early itemization, you need to always be itemizing after judging who your lane matchup is going to be. So in this case, when you look at the enemy heroes, so you see Venomancer, Sniper, and Sniper is usually a core hero. We all know that. And then we look at Viper and Spectre, who are also core heroes. Now we have to designate them to their roles. So Spectre is probably going to be carry, while Sniper is going to be mid, and Viper is going to be offlane. Warlock is usually 5, so I would guess that Venomancer is going to be 4. So based on this information, Venomancer and Viper should be our lane matchup as this void, right? So when you look at the early itemization, right, you think that, okay, this void has a stick and a circlet. He went for the mixed itemization. So in this case, is Viper going to ever give us a stick charge? Possibly not, right? Because when he throws his Q, his poison, he doesn't give us any stick charges. Same for Venomancer, right? He's going to give us stick charges. But the whole problem here is that he's going to give us a stick charge every 20 seconds, right? Gale has a 21-second cooldown at level 2 is 20, so we're not going to get that many stick charges. So buying stick as your early item in this case is not that great, right? It's not going to serve a purpose. So instead, we need to be buying items that will help us in the lane. So in this case, we could just go for Wraith Band Components, right? That's like the second best build you can do when you're in a lane where there's no spell casting. So my guess is that the first mistake that you've made in this game is that your early build is not as great as it could have been. This could definitely work, but it's not ideal. You need to be preparing for the lane a lot, right? For example, when you look at this lane, right, you think that, okay, I'm playing against two heroes that like to harass me a lot, which means that as a void, a hero who cannot jungle before he gets his Mask of Madness, then you need to have a plan for the lane. Like, you need to look ahead and say, okay, what is going to happen at minute 3? What is going to happen at minute 4? What is going to happen at minute 5? So your early itemization and the items that you buy after that matter a lot. So in this case, I don't need a stick. I would rather have some money spent on some more stats, which will give me more HP, right? You can buy, instead of the stick, you can buy a circlet. Not a circlet, sorry. You can buy a slippers, and you can also buy an iron branch. And with those two items, you get some HP, some attack speed, and potentially you get 1 more armor, right? Because you will have in total 5 agility, which is almost equal to 1 armor, and then you buy the Wraith Band, which is 2 more armor, right? So if they right-click you a lot, you have something for it, but the stick is not going to help you with this, right? So, okay. So far there's the first mistake we've identified already. And now I'm just going to put this on... let's just fast forward it, but most of this replay is going to be on 1x or maybe 1.5x because we cannot miss anything. We have to go over literally everything. Alright, so as a void, you don't really play for runes, as in you don't play to fight for runes, because your hero offers nothing in terms of, like, let's say some heroes have a stun, some heroes have a slow, right? Some heroes have a nuke. Like, for example, CM can nuke them and also slow them at the same time, so she's really good for runes fights. Same for NP. He can press Sprout, so he's pretty good at runes. This guy can slow, so he's also decent. Meepo is not that great because he doesn't really want to skill net at level 1. Similarly, Void doesn't want to skill time dilation at level 1, even though it slows and does damage, but it will ruin his lane. And bashes are obviously a no-go because it's level 1 bashes just means that you're just throwing away the game. So you're probably going to take Time Walk most of the time. And with Time Walk, you can't pretty much do anything for the lane. So the best thing that you can do is that you can go for your own rune, and see whether you can get it for free. If you can get it for free, then you get it. Otherwise, you don't. So when we look at this player, I think he's making the right decision. He's not with his team. He's just playing for his own rune. And this is completely correct. And he gets it, right? And his team gets 2, the enemy gets 2, so it's fine, completely fine. Alright, let's watch his player perspective at 1.5x. So, one thing that I'm seeing is that he's watching the fight, which is good. Meepo is disconnected, I guess, and he might die, but this is not a good start for Dire, of course. His lane matchup got a first blood, which means he has extra gold, and he's also a Viper, which means that he's going to do a lot of damage. He's going to have extra gold for regen, and this is going to be a rough one, right? So notice how I said that you need to plan ahead for this lane when you're playing heroes like Void who can't go jungle early on. Like, for example, Spectre is a similar case, right? So when you're in this lane against Viper and Veno, you should be thinking about a lot about what type of damage are they going to do. Are they going to constantly harass me? I need something to be able to sustain yourself. So what I mean by that is you don't want to buy something like, let's say, a Cornucopia because you don't want to buy Battlefield, right? But you need something for sustain. So in my opinion, what I would do if I was in your place, I would get extra regen right now, pretty much right now if I could. Like, I would buy another set of tangos, or I would just buy a salve straight up. So the way Viper works is that Viper is going to trade his mana for your HP, right? He's going to constantly use poison attack on you, and then he's going to lose mana. So if you have a salve, you can pretty much tank all of his damage, press time walk, go back, and then salve back up, and then suddenly Viper doesn't have any mana to work with. And if Viper doesn't have any mana to work with, then you don't feel danger in the lane. And you can actually go and last it creeps. So this is like, this is why it's very important to understand that you need to have a plan. So if you don't do that, you'll see the consequences of it later on. Of course, it happens. So far there's no one on the lane, and you gotta deny. CM takes the creep for some reason, doesn't use it on the range creep, so it's fine. Let's just watch it on 1.5x now. So I see that the lane is pushing in, which is natural considering the fact that on Radiant, it's like you cannot aggro the creeps onto your range to get it denied, because it just puts them inside tower, so the lane pushes in anyway. And the other factor is that CM has a nuke, which is AoE, so it automatically pushes the lane into the enemy, so it's fine. Here you deny, which is also good. Okay, and you also aggro to the range creep, which is pretty decent, considering the fact that I don't see most 2K players do this because I coach a lot, right? The lane mechanics are horrendous throughout the whole bracket. So knowing the fact that this guy aggroed the creeps onto his range creep is nice, because the thing is that with the way the wave is showing right now, is going to push into the enemy, and we need to do something to bring the wave back, which is the most basic thing that you can do is aggro the enemy melee onto your range creep and get your range creep killed. If the enemy does not do the same exact thing, then it's going to be a 3v4 in favor of the enemy, and then the lane is going to push into you. Okay, so now Viper is here. The first thing that you need to do as a Faceless Void is click the Viper and see what items he has, and also the Venomancer, right? But it doesn't seem like you're doing that at all. And so the whole idea behind that is we want to see what Viper has. So Viper has 1 mango, and then he has Ring of Basilius, right? So he's already planning to just like constantly harass you with his mana, but it's still not that much. You can still get a salve and get rid of whatever potential he has of killing you in the lane, because they don't really have a way to stop you from using Time Walk. They just have a lot of damage. They don't have any stuns, so you can still come out ahead in this lane very easily. Okay, now you're just last hitting, which is nice. You don't go for the range creep, which is good, because if you go for it, you'll take a lot of damage, and since your CM can nuke it, it's fine to do that. And alright, now you're just chilling, which is good. You get your Wraith Band, right? So consider the fact that it's been 2 minutes, you got 0 stick charges, right? Which is not ideal. So Viper is constantly doing damage to you, and that was good spell casting from CM. Alright, this is fine. I don't really have any complaints about this one so far. Most of the things seem fine. You just want to like try to aggro backwards rather than going fully in, right? And whenever you take some damage, right, whenever you take any form of damage that is more than like 100, 150 HP, you just want to press your Q. While it is dangerous to do it against Viper, it's like something that you need, right? So you're already out of tangos, and do you have more tangos on the courier? Okay, that's nice. So you're planning ahead, but I would also have a salve just in case. Like, we need to have enough sustain to just like get out of this lane and get our mass super fast. So when you look at this guy's item again, right, since he got first blood, he got extra gold. He's building up towards his Wraith Band, and now he has only 1 mango, double clarity, right? So clarities we can cancel. So technically he only has 1 mango to sustain himself. So if you buy a salver and just like go in front of him and act like you're just stupid and eat damage from him, then just salve back up, then he won't have any mana to work with. And whenever he pops a clarity, this CM can cancel it. All right, back to the topic. All right, I want to see a bit of your camera movement, right? In terms of like camera movement, like here, you basically got 3x poison attacks on you. You want to instantly just press Q and get away and then regenerate some of their HP. That's like Void's way of doing it. All right, so you're CSing. Yeah. Seems fine so far, except for the few things that we've discussed already. This is like a hard lane, if I have to be honest, right? Now you just like press Gale and you can't really go. Like, this is not good. Like, you can't go up here. Even though it's like, if I try to use time dilation on a Viper, it's never going to work because he doesn't have a cooldown, right? It's like, it doesn't really work on him. But it works on the Venomancer, but we don't really want to slow him down or anything. We're already ticking for damage because of the Gale, and now we're just like moving on Viper speed rather than just going back. Okay. Alright. So, general thing is that now you're just like so low, and you're just basically on the edge of death. And because of that, right, if the enemy is smart right now, they basically won't let you take, like, there's like 5 creeps inside your tower, and you're not going to be able to get any of them. But imagine if you had a salve here, right? You could salve up and just like get these creeps for free. And you know, if the enemy is like, you give the enemy 2 choices when you do this, right? One is that if you use a salve, they would probably just go back and take the Lotus. But if you don't salve up, what they should do is that they should just contest you for all of these creeps. If you go further, they know that you don't have time walk, they're just gonna harass you, and then maybe you just die. Or you just have to miss all of these creeps, which is like a lot of gold, right? And yeah, okay. So another thing that I want to see, so he misses his Gale, which is very fortunate for you. But here you see that the Viper just pops Clarity and he's playing very passive. Whereas he could have just literally stopped you from doing this. But this is also just like the same bracket, right? Everyone's just making mistake continuously. They get the Lotus. So I just want to go over one more thing, which I feel like a lot of low rank players literally don't think about at all. Let's just go back. All right. So in the laning phase, right, you have this Lotus pool, so which spawns a Lotus every 3 minutes. So think about how power runes work. Think about how Roshan works. They're both neutral objectives, right? If the enemy gets a power rune, the enemy mid laner, and they gank you bottom, it's going to be very detrimental for your team and you, right? Similarly, if your teammate gets the same rune, he can go top and kill someone, or bot and kill someone, which can be detrimental for the enemy team. The point is basically, whenever you take neutral objectives, the enemy team gets hurt, right? You get Aegis, the enemy team gets hurt. If they get Aegis, you get hurt, right? So Lotus Orbs are like, not Lotus Orb, but Lotuses are the same exact thing if you think about it, right? If laning is all about sustain, right? Like in this lane, you're constantly getting harassed and you don't have sustain, which is making you miss a lot of last hits, right? So if you have this Lotus, that would be much easier, right? Lotus gives you HP and mana. So you have to have a plan to play for this Lotus, because if the enemy gets it, they have the advantage. If you get it, you have the advantage, right? So the way you want to play for the Lotuses is basically, right, I need to have a plan to get these Lotuses. Whenever you play the lane, then you have to have a plan. So what most people do is that the most basic idea about getting the Lotus is you just push in the lane into the enemy, and since the wave is pushed into the enemy, you can get the Lotus for free, right? But for that, you need to basically right-click the creeps as much as possible. But since the creeps are dragged back into you, and then this next wave is also going to get dragged back into you, then what happens is, so the mistake that you make here is, so this could have been a bit better. So you aggro once on the range creep, and now you know, right? They're both range zero, they want to harass you, do not have time walk. I want you to aggro these creeps again inside your tower. If you aggro these creeps again inside your tower, then the enemy can't do anything about it, right? Because you have 3 melee creeps, which are basically acting as a shield for you. When you aggro the enemy melee creeps inside your tower, what happens is that you can just CS them for free while they have to worry about these 3 creeps. They can't just ignore them and come inside tower, right? And when that happens is that when your tower hits these creeps, it's going to automatically push the lane into the enemy. And by the time that is done, the lane is going to be somewhere here, and then you can get the Lotus for free. But since you don't do that, right, you get harassed more, you're Galed, and now you're not going to get to farm the wave, and now you're just like in a very bad position, which would never happen if you aggroed the first time, right? You would not be in this situation, and then you would get the Lotus for free as well. Now the lane is pushed in. Viper is just stupid. He decides that, oh, this guy doesn't have time walk. I'll just chill with the Clarity. Even though I have half mana, I can just kill you, but I will just chill, right? So he doesn't do that. They get the Lotus for free, and now the lane is just going to be harder and harder, right? So you get this, right? And you get another set of tangos. While tangos are good, you need to have basically, you need to have a burst of HP regen. You can't have like slow HP regen against the Viper. He's not gonna let you lane if you do that. So Like, your idea of the lane is correct that I need to buy regen, and play off of that. But honestly, without a salve, it's like very hard to do this. Now you need to constantly check for their mana as well. They're like full mana, full HP, and you can't really do anything about it. And another mistake that you're making here is that you're trying to trade with them when you know that it's impossible for me to do that. It's like, yeah, I'm going to try and bash this guy. Like, even if he does get bashed twice or maybe even thrice, do you think he dies before you die? Possibly not, right? And now then you have to get back. So you lose more HP in the process, and then you just go back, and now you're just like solo, right? And at this point, you only have tangos, you don't have any self again, right? The same mistake again, and the lane is going to push into you, which is going to be 7 creeps, while you're going to have 4 creeps. And then when that happens, right, you're going to be in a really bad position. Like, you're constantly getting harassed, they gale you, and then you end up dying, right? Now, the worst parts about this death is that now you're going to miss out on a lot of gold because you just like missed out on an entire wave of, like, it's like kind of a double wave that you're missing out on. This Viper is getting gold and gold. He's getting more levels. So the lane is just like being really bad. So at this point, what I would do if I was you is that I wouldn't complete my treads. Now, I know that this lane is completely over in a sense that Viper just has like a triple kill. He is on a spree and he has more levels than me. He's just gonna roll me over eventually. He's gonna get level 6 before me. So I'll just get my mask as soon as possible in hopes that if Viper indeed plays as well as he should and I'm forced out of the lane, I have something to jungle with. So before going treads in this case, you should just buy mask and then play around that. Alright. A lot of CS being missed inside the tower. So for tower CS, the tip that I can give you, which most people don't use apparently, is just like, okay, so when you see the tower hitting a creep, right? So inside tower, the way you want to CS is that when you look at this, like, I'm pressing alt. The key that I'm pressing is alt. Whenever you press alt key, the tower basically shows you what it's going to attack. You see like how this creep is going to die, and the tower is instantly going to show you what it's going to attack before it even attacks. So you get ready for it, right? You don't have to move. Some people don't know this, and because of that, they position themselves weirdly, and then they miss CS on their tower. For you, it doesn't seem like that's the case, but since this is going to be a viral video, as in like a public video, I'm sure some people can benefit from this. Basically, I'm holding the alt key. It just basically shows me. You're going to see that when this creep is going to die, then the tower is just going to show you what it's going to attack before it even initiates an attack. All right. And in terms of like CSing, it's like a big mistake. It's like a major mistake. Every CS you miss, you're just basically ruining your own game. And I know I've talked about this a lot. And the basic idea that I would give to everyone who's low MMR is you should practice roll last hitting a lot. You should go in the arcade, search for training polygon, and download this game and play the Laser Trainer for 10 minutes every day before you play Dota. It's going to help you a lot. Okay, now back to what we were doing. All right, let's just make this 2x, right? Now, okay, now it's just basically chill. Viper died thanks to rotation from NP. You didn't get any XP from it because you were not in rage, you were not watching. And now you're looking at top. Also, you need to be very wary about one more thing is when does the Spectre get level 6? Because when Spectre gets level 6, even if you use your time walk, you could still die. Okay, now these guys are back, right? It's Lotus time again, but these guys are back, so they're gonna push me out. I aggro. Now I want to aggro again, right? I want to aggro again. Just double aggro and they can't. Like, it's like I would aggro from here as well. I just need to be outside of this guy's range. As long as I'm outside of this guy's range where he can't contest me, I'm happy. Because I get something out of the lane rather than nothing, right? And now they have another Lotus, which means more regen for the Viper, which means more harass for you. And you know how it works. And now when you press Q, you don't have any HP, right? And since you're buying boots, that means you're going for treads, which means you won't be able to go jungle. And then you'll be just like rotting in this lane for as long as possible. So the basic idea is that whenever you're laning hard matchups, you just want to aggro the creeps to a position where the enemy can't really contest you anymore. Okay, this is fine. You're gonna get a kill on CM. This is good. NP is making good rotations to make your game better. Alright, now the issue is that you're farming in front of the enemy tower. And you really want to look at Spectre's level. Spectre, I don't really know what Spectre's level is, but if you open the scoreboard, she's only level 4. So that means we're fine farming here, because if she uses ult, we won't die. But you need to be careful about one more thing, which is the sniper's teleport. Since you're standing in front of his tower, he could always do that. But I guess sniper is not level 6 either, so it's fine. Alright, now you just want to go back again. Here I would just press my time walk again just to heal up. Okay, so the mistake that never mind. I guess the CM did it. But just like in terms of like knowledge, when you're in this situation, you want to instantly use time walk. Go back here and pull this wave onto this wave. Pull this camp onto this wave and then just farm it. So while the time this wave is gonna be stuck here, you farm something out of it. Like here, CM pulls it for you, but you should be the one doing that, right? And then you farm it, and then when the next wave comes, you just basically drag it behind here and then farm it again before the Viper comes. Okay. Alright, very chill. Very chill. So you're 6, which means that the enemy could also be 6. We need to keep looking at Spectre's level. So one thing that you're doing is that you're not really looking at any side lanes at all that much. Like if you look at Spectre, she's level 5, could be level 6 very, very soon. With the other information that we have is that when a Mancer is top, which means there's no longer the Gale, which is going to ruin our lane a bit. So we just aggro back again. And now we want to aggro again. Aggro again. Aggro again. Just bring it to a position where he can't do anything to you. Yeah. Okay. You're chilling. Okay. Right. Okay. You're just chilling. Are you going to try to chrono this guy? Okay. It looks like it could be a decent chrono. Because CM is also level 6. Yeah, that's good chrono. So using your chrono early on doesn't really matter that much. Is he gonna die? He's dead. Okay, very nice. So early on using chrono, this isn't a big deal. You can use it on anything. You can use it on support. You just need to get a kill, right? You're level 7, even though you had a really hard lane on a hero like Void. Levels matter a lot, right? And you're not gonna buy a Midas, obviously. So the way you want to scale with levels is by continuously using your chrono for even like the smallest of kills. It could be a Venomancer, it could be a Warlock, it doesn't matter. Alright, now you're stuck here again, right? Whereas you should be behind here pulling this camp so the next wave comes to you because it's a big wave. But since you're gonna just stay here, right? And you're gonna try to farm this wave, you could be in a dangerous position, right? I'm like so deep in. I have my Q, but the problem is it's only level 1, first of all. And second of all, since it's level 1, it has a big cooldown. And it has a very small range. So I could just press it. It's going to be a baby leap. But then if the TP, right? So fun thing is that I already used it to backtrack the damage. And then they spawn. And Spectre has ult, right? Spectre has ult. We need to be very careful about that. Spectre could just literally kill you here. Like, you should have been dead here, honestly. Like, if Spectre goes on you with the slow and then you don't have time walk, you would just die. So I would just count that as a death in a higher average game. I mean, it should be that. It should be a death here as well. But it doesn't happen. So it's fine. You got lucky a bit. Alright, now you have... So in terms of like net worth, you're doing way well than the Viper, because Viper is just like he's not farming at all. He has like only 12 CS if you look at the top left side. And he's just like trying to kill you and pressure you while you're doing the other thing. This is why, my friends, CS matters a lot. You see the difference between the Void and Viper? You wouldn't expect this, right? When you look at the lane, it's like, oh, the Void is constantly being harassed by the Viper, but this Viper has no farm, right? Because he doesn't have any CS. This is why it matters a lot. Okay, now he's dead again. And you have no HP, so you need to be a bit careful, right? You can't really show here. Like, this Spectre could just kill you right now. Right? Like, she has Haunt. She has Dagger in like 9 seconds. If you keep showing, she will just kill you. So you need to be very careful about this. So now you're gonna try to hit this again. And since you're hitting this... And you see Shrapnel, right? Which means the enemy mid laner is here. And now you just want to get out. Rather than just staying here. So let's see what happens. You stay here and then boom, Spectre ults you and you die. So now if you didn't die here, if you were just behind there regenerating your HP, given that you won't get as much farm as you would from a wave, but you would be alive, you know? And because of that kill, the Spectre is almost the same net worth as you right now. So these things are really going to matter. Alright, let's wait for you to respawn. You're not looking at... So whenever you die, you need to look at a lot of things. Like, you want to check their items. Like, okay, what do they have? What does the sniper have? Why does the sniper have a mantle of intelligence, right? That you should be thinking about all of this. Like, what items do they have? Like, the Spectre doesn't have Blade Mail. That means that she's not as farmed as I would think she is, right? It's 11 minutes, she doesn't have Blade Mail, which is like a good sign for you. This Viper has no farm. Why doesn't he have any farm, right? You need to think about these things a lot. So whenever you're dead or you're farming or hitting like neutral creeps, you need to think about this a lot. Alright, now you have this information that they're all bottom. And are you just AFK? Okay, so you see that my entire team is bot. And I see multiple heroes there, so I just go top, which is fine, I guess. But since you have Chrono, you should be willing to fight bottom. You need to like look at information at bottom, but you're not looking at all. So minimap is your friend, and you only really want to look at it. It's like, okay, I push this wave, I TP'd in, which means that I can't go bot with a TP, but I could always be ready. It's like, at this point, I would push this wave in. I did that. I wouldn't go for the next wave. I would go and farm here. I want to go and farm here because if a fight happens at bot, I could just portal in, right? If I'm nearby. But if I'm like farming deeper, I can't do that. So you are doing that, which is nice, right? You're doing that, but you're not looking at any information on the map. You're hitting this creep, but you're not looking at where the enemy heroes are, right? You're not looking at anything at all. It's like, oh, yeah, I see multiple heroes bottom, but I'm not seeing anything else. Like, I'm not seeing what spells they're using, whatever they're doing. It's like there's no information. Like, I see my team going on Warlock. So I instantly check. I see that, oh, Warlock's being gone on. Then I see multiple heroes. And now I'm just pushing this wave because you can't do anything more than that. So I need to be careful. So now this is like where you're making a mistake. So the basic idea is that a fight is happening bot. I can't join it because it's really far from me. Because me going from here to here is like really far. Then another 4 seconds of channel time. So what I need to do is that I need to take advantage of this space and farm something or maybe create some pressure, right? So here's when creep wave timers really help, right? So you just farm the wave. Like if you just go back, like you just farm this wave. And if you look at the creep wave timer, right, it's 30 seconds, which means the enemy wave just spawned. So if you know creep wave timers, you should know that in like 5 more seconds, the wave is going to be under this tower. But if you go here, you won't be able to push that in, right? So if my team dies at bottom, right? If my team dies at bottom, but I'm already pushing this wave into the enemy tier 2, someone has to address this wave and then maybe my tower doesn't die. But since I'm not aware of the creep wave timers, I'm going here. This means that I'm just farming here and then the next wave is here, right? Like I said. And now I'm not pushing this in. My team lost the fight at bottom, but I'm not pushing this in. So what I'm doing is that I'm not really doing anything for the game at this state. So here it's like, oh, this guy doesn't have Blade Mill. He's half HP. I have maxed out bashes. He probably doesn't have Shadow Step, right? So I can also get an instance of time dilation. And then he's half HP, right? And his entire team is dead. Which means that I should just Chrono and kill this guy, right? Why does he how can he TP on my face and doesn't get punished for it, right? So you should just do it and then get back. So in this case, what you do is that you just like completely ignore him. You go back and farm. Whereas I think you could have just killed him there. Like, just trying to do some things, even when you're, like, unsure about it, is fine. You get to experiment a bit. Now you see a Warlock. You need to be a bit chill before this, because since Warlock is here, there's a good chance he might push in the lane. Because this is, like, low MMR. Anything could happen. Like, when you see, like, the map, right? Minimap, this Warlock is pushing the lane. And you could just kill him. It's, like, pretty much a free kill. He's not even baiting at this point. So you go on him. You don't bash. Okay, you're finally bashing. You don't use Mask of Madness, which is fine. You got a free kill. Boom. You're level 10. At 14 minutes, highest in the game. Everything's going fine. And now you're going to get Mithril Hammer. Mithril Hammer. Actually, I don't even know how to say that. Okay, now you're pressuring this guy, but you don't see anything else on the map. You don't see where the Viper is. You don't see where the Venomancer is. You only see Illusion at mid of Sniper. So you could be in a dangerous spot. You should not be here. This is like kind of a waste of time, right? It's like we got a kill. We farmed this wave. Now we just want to go back and farm something else, because at this point, we can't really kill this guy. Like, we didn't try to kill this guy when his entire team was dead and he was half HP. Why are we doing this again? When he's full HP and his team is alive. And they're not showing on the map, right? It doesn't really make any sense. So we should do something more productive with our time, right? We really don't want to time walk here because we don't have any information on where they are. So I would just time walk back and farm here because I don't have any information to work with. Like, when I just right click this guy, nothing really changes for me. It's like, yo, I'm just like right clicking this guy, I'm taking damage, and then they go on me, right? I literally got ulted by a sniper. I use time walk here. Now if I try to chrono this guy, they're just gonna kill me, right? I chrono this guy, and now this guy's a blade mill, right? Previously didn't, so you're getting return damage, and you're also just dying to the sniper, and then you end up dying, right? So this is just like a very stupid death, if you ask me. So whereas you were like ahead five seconds ago, I guess, like here you were like top net worth, 500 gold, almost like 1,000 gold to have Spectre. Now suddenly after this death, that's not the case. You're only 300 gold ahead of the Spectre, which is gonna be gone by the time you're alive. And the sniper is suddenly top net worth. So these deaths matter a lot, right? So the whole idea is that you need to really get in the information. It's like, I understand that you're playing this hero to the limits because you understand that the enemy doesn't have any stuns, but the enemy does have a lot of damage for you. It's like they can really out damage you inside Chrono. You need to be very aware of that. It's like, yo, I'm gonna Chrono this guy, but if Viper presses another Toxin inside Chrono, then that just means that I can't bash anymore because I'll be broken, right? And then I can't kill anyone. And then if I Chrono someone that isn't Sniper and I pop my Mask of Madness, the Sniper will just kill me outside of the Chrono. So I need to be really aware of these things as a Void. It's just like I need to be really aware and then not make stupid decisions like I did right now. All right, now you're dead again. So the three, let's say all three deaths were preventable, right? The first death could have been preventable if you aggroed better in the lane and you pulled the creep wave into your tower more often and you just bought a self, right? And the second death was just like you being unaware of the fact that you could just die to the Spectre ult, right? You didn't expect it and you just died. And the third death is just like right now in front of you. You didn't need to do this. It was completely reckless. So yes, all three deaths could have been preventable. So you could say that you could have been like 3-0 here. And if you didn't die 3 times, your net would be much, much higher. You could be even like 7.5k right now. Easily. Alright, so now you use Mask of Madness and you see the Sniper use this. We see Spectre at mid and we don't see anyone else. So we need to be a bit careful. Yep, we just go back. But here, this guy's a bit out of position. It seems very tempting to me at the very least because I have NP with TP in 2 seconds. Maybe I can ask him TP, but they're not showing anywhere, so it could be a bit dangerous. He used Shrapnel, which means that we can get a time dilation stack on him easily, but I feel like it's kind of risky, so we shouldn't do it, so you don't end up doing it, which is fine. But if you're not gonna go on him, right? If you're not gonna go on him because you feel like maybe he's baiting, why would you go on this camp? It's like him standing here. It's like the enemy can come from either here or here. Either side, they can just wrap me up from here. They don't have any stuns, which is fine. But if I press Time Walk once, they can just slow and kill me with Spectre Hunt, right? So in this case, why am I farming this camp if I'm scared? Okay, so another thing is that, okay, now I'm just gonna go back, right? And now you see Warlock, so they were technically probably smoked towards top, so it's fine. Now you're farming backwards here, which is good. And Viper is also top, so they're probably smoked. You see multiple heroes bottom, right? It's like a fight is happening bottom, but you're not looking at any of that information. You're not looking who has TP, who doesn't have TP. Like in this case, Viper just showed top, which means that Viper doesn't have a TP anymore. Sniper doesn't have a TP anymore. Venomancer probably doesn't have a TP anymore, right? Multiple heroes don't have TP. Warlock Golem is used. You need to get this information in. Dota is a game of information. If you're not taking in the information, then you can't make really good decisions. Like for example, right now I see 3 of them TP bot, which means that I can play really aggressively on this lane. I don't need to go back anymore, right? So I farm this wave. I go even further, right? And now I should go even further, right? I should go and farm the next wave, but that's if I know the creep wave timers, right? If I don't, then I can't farm this wave. But since creep wave timers are here, the wave is here. And another thing is that I'm just like not looking at these fights at all. Like I'm looking right now, and this is a good time to TP in. Yep. This is good. This is good. Finally looked. You get a chrono. Very nice. Can we get this guy as well? He used Gale, and then, okay, he has 4 stuff, so yeah, it's fine not to go on him. All right, this was pretty good, right? So far, the game is going fine. I'm back to being the top network because... But my CS count is very low. The reason why your CS count is very low is mostly being the fact that you're not farming waves as much, and the other fact is that you're just like wasting a lot of your time, right? Your Maelstrom timing is like really late because you died 3 times for no reason. And the other factor is... Okay, so the other factor is, an example is a Spectre thing. I'm just like hitting him for no reason. I can just go back here and farm, right? Like, why am I hitting the Spectre for no reason in front of her tier 2? Why am I putting myself in a dangerous spot while I'm wasting my time, right? It's just like a lose-lose situation for you. Okay, now you're just hitting creeps again, which is fine. Need to gather information. Okay, so now it's like, all right. So now another thing, right? It's like, oh, I farmed this. Another thing, right? It's like I see this wave pushing in, but I'm not looking, right? I'm not looking. It's like, oh, I saw this wave pushing in, but I'm not looking, right? This is your perspective. You're not looking at all. So if you're not going to push this wave in, this is pretty much 250 gold, around 250 or 200 gold, while this is like 100 gold. So you're gonna prefer farming the big camp over the wave, right? Even though you have a ward here, it's like you should generally push in waves before you do anything else, as long as it's safe. Because if this wave is pushed in super further in, then I can safely farm backwards. Why? Because the enemy has to deal with these waves. If no one deals with that wave, that just means that the enemy is either smoked or they're taking Roshan, right? It gives you information. Whenever you push in a wave, it gives you a lot of information. But since I don't do it, the wave just dies. And now I'm going for the next wave, which is fine, which is good. And now back to farming backwards again. But now I'm going towards this side, right? Which, let me see. Is this good or is this bad? Like, you could farm this, which is like a medium camp, but here you get medium and small, and then maybe you could portal top. I guess it's fine, actually. This is better. All right, so you're farming this, you're farming this. I would really like to see you go top because, okay, so the whole idea is that whenever your chrono is off cooldown, you need to buy time for yourself, which is by split pushing lanes, right? So we pushed the bottom wave in, and the enemy had to deal with it, right? They had to deal with that wave. And now since we forced them bottom, I should just go top and push this wave in and play around here, right? And then whoever comes top, if they go a bit deep, by the time I will have chrono, I'll just kill them again, right? But if I'm playing super further behind, that's not going to happen. All right, now let's talk a bit about itemization, right? So you went Maelstrom and Mask of Madness, which is pretty common, and I would say it is the right itemization for the most part, right? But you're going Manta after that, right? So in order, like, I understand, I also made a guide on Void, of course, that you always want to prioritize survivability before you prioritize anything else. Like, your quick buy shows Manta Lincolns, right? So let's exactly see why you're buying Manta, right? So when I look at Venomancer, right, he likes to buy Vessel. And then there's like Gale that you want to dispel, right? But isn't something that will stop you from using your Q, right? It's not a silence, it's not a root. So when we look at his itemization, he only has a 4-star, which means he's not going Rod of Ados, he's not going Vessel. So buying Manta against this guy is not that great, right? We don't really need it. And when we look at Sniper, Sniper has nothing that we really need Manta for. Warlock has nothing that we really need Manta for. He has Fatal Bonds, but if I chrono someone, or if I'm like I'm going to be the last one going in because I'm going to use that information, then it doesn't matter. Then we look at Viper, right? Viper doesn't have any silence or root either, and then Spectre only has, Spectre's buying a Manta, right? He doesn't have any Orchid or anything right now. So for me to buy this Manta right now does not make any sense, right? Right now, so you're basically, after you have your base items, like you could say Maelstrom and Madness are your base items. So based on that, if these are your base items, then after that you want to buy either luxury items or you want to solve problems in the game. Typically, these problems could either be damage issues, survivability issues, it could be anything, right? In this case, it's like, okay, they don't really have any cash for me, so survivability is not that big of an issue, but they have a lot of damage for me. Like, if I chrono someone, they have a lot of damage. It's like, okay, if I chrono the Spectre, they could throw in Golem and then Nether Toxin and the Sniper can just eat me alive in the chrono, right? So if I chrono the Viper, then Sniper eats me alive anyway. But if I chrono the Sniper, the Viper is just going to throw Nether Toxin on me, and then I can't bash him, and the Sniper's not going to die, and I'll just die, right? So when you think about the way the game in this way, it's like, okay, what is an item that allows me to just chrono Sniper and then just kill him inside it without really worrying about Nether Toxin in this case? So when you think about it, BKB comes to mind, right? If I press BKB, I can just kill anyone, right? So in this case, I don't really need a Manta right now to dispel anything. Like, further on, maybe I can just buy it. Like, further on, let's say this Spectre buys an Orchid eventually. Or they maybe just get a random ass Ados. Then maybe we can buy a Manta because we don't want to really press a 90-second BKB cooldown on a Silence, right? Because she has a very small cooldown on this and on Orchid. So it's not advisable to use BKB against this. So currently your itemization is not good. This is like a really major mistake if I have to say, right? Okay, now you're back to pushing waves, right? And you guys see Viper here. You have chrono, but you have no other information. It's like, okay, I could chrono these guys. I could chrono this Viper, and I can chrono this Veno. But then, if I see the map, I see Sniper, right? And Sniper is just going to kill me. I see Warlock as well. Both these guys can just like interrupt me inside the chrono. So the thing that I need to do right now is I don't need to chrono these guys here. So I'm gonna jump in. There's like Nether Toxin. You go in, you press chrono, or you get all three, which is pretty good. But now the problem is you're just like taking a lot of damage from Shrapnel, Warlock, and everything. You're trying to hit them, but there's like so much shit happening to you, right? You're taking damage. Your movement speed and reduce. There's like so much that's happening. But if I have a BKB here, right, instead of this Yasha, I obviously wouldn't have BKB, but it's like generally you don't want to chrono like this, and now you just have to get out because you don't have anything, and then you just have to leave back to farming, right? And then you almost die. Yep. this is what happens when you don't buy the right items or you don't have the right idea of how your hero is going to work. So in this case, it's like, yeah, okay, I need to think about two things whenever I'm playing Void. What allows me to press my Q, and what will help me kill heroes in Chrono. Like, it could be external damage. Like, if you see your heroes, you don't really have any external damage in Chrono, right? And you're also playing with 2 MMR players, so you can't really rely on that on Chrono that much in terms of like external damage from your teammates. And then you want to look at what kind of saves they have and how can they stop me from dealing damage in Chrono. So when it comes to using your Q, you don't have any trouble doing that in against this lineup because they have no catch. But in terms of Chrono, you do have a lot of problems. Okay, now you're just like farming. So at this point, I would just say that your number of CS right now is like very low. You could be farming much, much more. The problem is that you're just like unwilling to push out waves that much. You're subjected to a lot of different things. You're just like wasting a lot of your time doing very stupid stuff in the map. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna try to it's like I'm just gonna try to make plays when I don't need to. It's like I could just push this wave in, portal, push top wave in, make them like run around the map because they can't really stop me from using my Q, right? So I'm kind of invincible. Which is why it's like the sniper is just like way ahead of me as well. He has a lot of kills. And part of it is our fault because we gave him a free kill at top lane, if you remember. Okay, now we don't have Chrono, but I think Spectre is trying to feed. And alright. Now here, right? Here you see this sniper, right? And it's like, oh, this guy has no defensive item. He doesn't have Pike. He doesn't have Shard, right? I could just time walk on him and kill him because I see Viper mid as well. But the problem is, I'm not really comfortable with doing that because I don't have a BKB, right? But right now I could just jump this guy. Like first thing is that I need to jump this guy on the face and then prop my madness and just like kill him. But I can't do that because there's like a Spectre nearby and I don't have a BKB. But if I had a BKB, I could just ram this guy down without really being worried about anything. Okay, now back to farming again. Back to farming waves again. Now we saw multiple heroes stop, which means that we should just like hide a bit, farm near here, chill a bit. This guy's dying. You don't really need to be here. Okay, so here it's like you're fighting this guy, right? You see, so this is the information that you have right now. You have this information that okay, there's a fight going on here. I don't see sniper yet. I see 3 heroes. So I see this Spectre who's fighting with me. I press my Q. I still don't see sniper. But I'm not looking at the top fight at all, right? I'm not getting any info from there. Like, I'm not just like legit just not looking. I can go on this guy, right? And I can press Chrono, but then what happens, right? You're just dying to external damage from the Nether Toxin and the Viper. But if I had BKB here, right? None of these things are an issue. Like, you feel like Manta is going to do anything against these heroes? At this point, no. It's not going to do anything, right? And now because I died again, I'm playing against a lineup that is very good late game. I'm also very good late game, but if I don't itemize properly, this game could turn very badly for us. Okay, another death that wasn't really any specialty from the enemy team. Just us making very bad decisions. Okay, now you instantly TP top because you don't have Chrono. You want to push this lane in. It's fine. But the problem that I have with this... Actually, it's fine. It's fine to do this. Like, yeah, it's not that big of a deal. But you need to watch the map whenever you're farming. Like, it's like if you're farming this wave, go here, click on this hero, see what he has. Look at his items. Like, you're hitting this camp, no one's gonna bother you. Look at this guy's items. Like, he has a glimmer. Yeah, okay, now I know that. Before I jump on him and then just like completely ruin my initiation because he has a glimmer, I should just know this. Alright. Now you see these guys on ward, which means they're trying to gank you. So you just go back, farm the side camp because they can't stop you. Seeing multiple heroes at top. Now we're just gonna go back. I'm TPing bot for some reason. Alright, so you're doing the opposite of what you should be doing. So after a certain point in the game, the enemy is going to have, and you're going to have a lot of items, which means that when you have a lot of items, you should have potential to take Rosh. And especially when you have a Meepo and an NP in your team, you can take Rosh very easily, right? And similar for the enemy, they have Sniper and Spectre with a Manta, they can take Rosh easily as well, right? Now the whole problem is, if I TP bottom lane, that just means that I'm giving up the top area to the enemy. So it's nighttime and Roshan is going to be top. That means that if I show bottom, the enemy's like, yeah, this guy doesn't have a TP because it's not going to show here. And they were like, oh shit, this is a free opening for us to get Rosh, right? So you need to be playing around the Rosh even if you don't want to take it. Because if you're not around there, they can just take it. Like you're gonna show on this lane, right? So when you show on this lane, this is what they see from their perspective. Oh, this void just TP'd in. This is what their perspective is. So any high rank MMR player, if you was smurfing in this game, would just take this information and force Roshan right now. And you won't be able to do anything about it. So now you're gonna like TP in, push, send your illusions to push it in. So one thing could work is that I can push this lane and then portal back top. That would be nice. But I'm not doing either. It's like I'm not really aware of that. I eventually do it. Force 2 heroes here, so that means they're not taking Rosh. Since I saw 2 heroes here, right? I saw 2 heroes here, and then here's the deal, right? I saw 2 heroes bottom, and then I'm top, and then I see Sniper hitting these creeps, right? And then he just like runs away, so I can't go on him. But then he targets me with his assassinate, which means he's still somewhere here, right? Where is he? He's standing here. So shouldn't I just time walk on him, chrono, and kill him? Because I see multiple heroes bottom, who can't join. I can just kill this guy, because the problem that we had was like Viper and Warlock, right? Did we see Warlock bottom? Yeah, we see both of them bottom, which means that nothing can stop us inside the chrono. So we can just kill this guy, and then we can force Rosh. But since we're just like not looking at the map, not utilizing that information, we won't be able to do that. It's kind of sad, actually. Like, these are opportunities that you should... Like, he's just like hitting this wave again, whilst Warlock and everyone is bottom, right? So these are like opportunities which you're going to miss, and because of that, the game is gonna just keep becoming harder and harder. Okay, now you're going for Lincoln's next item, right? So here's the thing. I understand why you're buying Lincolns. It's like you don't want to get haunted, so you're not buying Lincolns. But here's the deal, right? If Spectre haunts you, right, what does she do to just like stop you from pressing Q and running away? Does she have any way to do that? No, right? She's buying an Orchid if you look at her items, right? But you have a Manta now. So at this point, it doesn't matter if you buy the Lincolns or not. I would probably buy either a BKB, right now. Or if I don't plan on buying BKB, I buy a Miller. The biggest thing is that you need a BKB no matter what happens. So a BKB is a better buy than buying Lincolns right now. So this itemization pattern is like kind of weird. It's like buying survivability items is nice, but the whole problem is that we don't want to overkill it. We just want to solve issues that are in front of us, and the way we can solve issues and identify issues that are in front of us is by watching the map and looking at the heroes and their itemizations, right? We know based off of their abilities that they can't do anything, but they're obviously going to buy items that will do that. Like Spectre likes to buy Hex, Spectre likes to buy Bloodthorn, right? So we need to be really aware of that. Okay, now we're back to bottom again, and okay, back to bottom again, and we're leaving the top side to the enemy again, even though it's nighttime and we could get punished for it. Let's see what the enemy does. So it seems like they're probably going Rosh now. Never mind, Spectre showing mid, which means they're not going Rosh. So you should push this lane in. Spectre showing. Are you going to use Manta to push the next wave in? So you are buying Lincolns. Alright. So your team is like, say, I'm seeing multiple heroes here, right? I see Viper and Spectre. So can I do anything with this information right now? No, we're not doing anything with this information. There's not much we can do. Rosh is going to be bottom side soon, and we need to start playing bottom. Because at daytime, the Rosh is going to be bot. So you need to be very aware of that. Now you're farming, but you guys are not ready for Rosh. It's like, okay, now I have this information that Viper is top without TP. Warlock is top, possibly without TP. And they have no way to contest us here, right? It's like their tower is so far out. So if we just like stay here, if we just farm our way towards Rosh and just take it, we just get it for free. But now what we're doing is the opposite of what we should do. Like we should be playing bottom, but what we are doing is we're just playing top when we're supposed to play bottom for Rosh. And now we're just gonna go here. We see Viper. What other information that we have? We have no more information, so it's good to not go on this guy because you don't see anyone else on the map. And Spectre is showing as well. Funnily enough, they're also playing here. The wave is pushed in, so they can't really sneak out Rosh yet. But eventually they will do it if you don't do it. Or I don't know, maybe it's just like the bracket is... In this bracket, no one really cares about Rosh as well. So it could be anything at this point. Alright, now you're just like farming. Oh! They got Rosh, guys. What do you know? The wave is pushed in, but they still got Rosh. How could have that happened, right? It's just because we're not taking advantage of the opportunities that we are getting. We're not taking advantage of that, right? And then again, it's like we're not even playing this. It's like they should never be able to take this because the wave is pushed into them and then this tower is alive. So how come they can just like sneak this right under our nose, right? All right, so now they have Roche, which means that they have the advantage here, which also means that we're gonna likely avoid fights, and we're gonna try to use Chrono on a single target after split pushing. So what I would like to see you do here is that if you're not going to join the fight bottom, which is like a right decision, maybe you could actually TP in here and kill this sniper because he's very out of position. It's like Spectre's here, and Viper, you're just gonna wait for Viper to show and just jump this sniper. You either do that or you push the top wave out so much that they have to go back after they win that fight at the bottom. So let's see what you do. Alright, so you're not going bot, and you're not pushing out the lane. Right, alright, okay. So you should have been pushing here, right? It's like they're so split. You see Viper here, you see Spectre here, and you have all the vision, right? So what I would do is, I would TP on this tower, right? And then I would just like Chrono these 3 heroes and just kill them. TP on the wrong side, they're just gonna see you coming from here. But if TP from here, you can fog and just like ult them. You do TP, but your TP is like really bad, and then you just have to go back top. Like chilling, seeing what you can do, but nothing happens, right? So the decision making here was not great. Like you didn't try to push the top lane in. You didn't really try to, you know, have an idea of how you want to Chrono. It's like when I'm seeing you move on the map, you really don't have an idea of whether you can kill people in Chrono or not. It's like if you understood that these are the issues that I'm going to face when I'm going to Chrono someone, you would land really good Chronos. Like, for example, this was the perfect opportunity like a minute ago, right? It's like the fight's happening here, right? Viper is being held by them, and then these heroes are like just like AFK here. So I can just TP behind here and Chrono these 2 guys, remove them. Then suddenly it's like a 5v2, and then we can just kill them. But I don't really take advantage of that. I TP to a place where I have to go head on the Viper. Like you could even just Chrono this Viper right now, right? But you're just like kind of choking in the fact that oh, what do I do here? What do I do? They use Warlock Golem, they use everything. This is why it's very important to like watch things, and like you should have an idea of how your Chrono works, and you should have an idea of, okay, this is the information that I processed, and then I'm just gonna use that. Okay, you're going on this, guys. This is kind of deja vu. I hope you just go back. All right. Yeah, this is kind of bad. All right. So the whole problem in this is I had to push top when they were chasing my team, right? And now I'm going to try to push in top when it is already pushed in, when their team is about to respawn, and now they're just like on the back foot, right? So I'm going to go here. I'm going to try to hit this tower, even though their team is respawning and they're on the back foot. They don't show anyone on the map, right? I'm just going to fight with this guy and press Q, right? And now I'm going to press Q again. And now, what do you know, right? Spectre is here with the Haunt. And now you're losing a lot of HP, and you probably have to Chrono and get out. Yep, you Chrono, and the Chrono is wasted, right? Every time you make these moves that basically... It's like, you made this move, and now you don't have Chrono for 2 minutes, right? Which means that the game is going to get prolonged for 2 minutes. For 2 minutes, you can't do anything, right? So every small move, every small fuck-up that you do in the game just prolongs the game continuously. This is why low-rank games go for like 50, 60 minutes on average, right? The game length is like really, really wrong. This is the reason. And now you don't want to fight. You're just going to keep farming. It's like, yeah, I'm going to go here, right? Like, this is the information that I need. Okay, so this fight could actually be good. If I look at the map, Warlock and Viper are here. Sniper is here alone. And Spectre is completely isolated, right? So now I can... If I look at the itemization of the Sniper, do you see any survivability item? Do you see any shard? Do you see any pike? Nope, right? But you're very tunnel visioned on the Spectre who has Aegis. You're just like ignoring the Sniper completely. But let's say if I go on the Sniper here, and I pop my Manta and just bash him and I kill him, and then I saw Viper and Warlock here, so if they're coming top, they're gonna come through this vision, and then we can win this fight, right? So I'm just gonna go here. Now I'm just going back. So Axe is the one who gets the call in, and then he carries this fight. But the whole issue is that I should have been the one doing this, right? So this is like a very awareness issue, and then you're going here. This seems fine. Okay, I'm chasing this. He's dead. And now I want to like gather some information. Is that okay? What's happening behind me, right? I want to look what's happening behind me. It's like, oh, there's a Viper who's killing my... But I can't really do anything about it. I'm going to try to chase this Spectre, but it's not going to work since she has Bloodthorn and everything. I need to be careful. I'm gonna try to fight her, but it's not gonna work, so I have to go back. Alright. Now you use Manta and you probably have to get out. They end up killing the Viper, but your axe died because of it. It's just like you're very tunnel vision onto one target, and you're just like, you need to develop a habit of looking at the minimap and just like processing information, whatever you can get. Like for example, like this is also an example of, let's say if you had a BKB trying to kill that Viper, no, kill that Spectre, sorry. Then her Bloodthorn wouldn't like make you do less spell damage, right? She wouldn't have less damage from your bashes, from your Maelstrom procs. And then instead of this Linken's, right, it's like you would have a Mjolnir as well. So the game would be much, much better this way. You'd have more damage, and then you'd actually kill people. So you still have Chrono. They don't have Aegis. You should play a bit aggressive again. You have all the survivability items that you need. You're kind of like invincible right now, so you need to play super deep in as much as you can. So same information again. Viper is dead. Spectre showing mid. We saw one hero at bottom as well. So we're going to chill again. Farming, farming, farming. Farming, farming, farming. Right? You're playing deep, which is nice, right? Some of the things that you're doing are correct, which is good. But, alright. Now back here again. So now we want to start playing for Roche again, right? We need to time Roche and play around that again. Now we see the Spectre is going deep. And we all TP in, get a kill, which is nice. Now the Spectre, you know, now the Spectre basically, they had the lead. Now she basically threw the game a bit. This is the second time the Spectre threw the game. First time was that her team was showing mid, and she just like decided to just basically die of tier 1 and then get her teammate's kill. This is the second throw that she did. Whereas it's like, it's going to be back and forth. Like you're going to throw, they're going to throw, and then eventually the game's going to go super long. Okay. Alright, now you're just like, your team is like nowhere near you, and you're just basically showing in front of a tier 2 where they can TP. And you probably have to go back. Oh, this is very ballsy actually. You just have to run away. I mean, it is like kind of, they don't have any stuns. But you get the idea. It's like kind of, I'm just like wasting my time trying to get this thing, you know? I can just go and farm. Like, why am I running around the map? I need to always be just hitting creeps on default mode and then just like chrono something if I got a chance. Other than that, I'm just like default mode farming all game. Okay, now you force a TP on top on Spectre. And we see Viper at bottom. No TP on Viper again, right? We can give our team a call that, guys, we should kill this guy. There's no TP on Viper, right? So now you're just like chilling here. And you probably, and then you see this guy here on this vision, right? And like we talked about before, I can chrono this Spectre, but the retaliate damage from her dispersion, her blade mail, because we don't have BKB, and then sniper hitting us from outside the chrono, we will just die. We saw Viper at bottom. Right now, what we should do is that we should instantly jump on this sniper and kill him. But what do? We just chill here. Seems like they have a ward on you. And now this Viper, not the Viper, the sniper is just chilling. You're going to use chrono here. And guess what? You're not killing anything. It's just not working. And then eventually you just die. Right? But let's say you went on the sniper in your vision. This would never happen, right? And then you can turn on this guy. Okay, now you just have to watch your team, get all that information, but I guess you're just alt tabbed. This is also really a bad habit, right? When you die, you don't want to alt tab. You don't like process information. It's like, yeah, by the time I'm alive, I need to see where they are, right? It's like if I am alt tabbed and then I see a wave being pushed at bottom lane, I'm just like, oh shit, a lot of gold. I'll just TP here. You can TP here, but since you didn't see what's happening, since you were dead, right? Then you TP in here and the enemy just hiding here, they just kill you. Because you didn't see who pushed in the bottom lane. You didn't see who was showing in this lane. So it's like a really bad habit, and you need to process the map a lot more than how you're processing it right now. Okay, nice. Now you're back. Alright, you have Miller and then you're buying Butterfly next. Alright. Okay. Butterfly is like a nice item, you know, it's like, yeah, I don't get any attacks from them, but I feel like all the damage that you're taking from them is magical, right? And the other factor is that the sniper already has a Monkey King bar, right? So the Butterfly isn't going to help me in any case. But I could buy an item, right? I could definitely buy, like BKB is obviously something that you need, but you're just like not buying it, which is... So let's just like move past the BKB thing. Let's just assume that you already have a BKB. What you should buy right now. It's like, okay, so I don't really have damage issues that much, right? The issue that I do have is the enemy is like, it's like I need to just absolutely chrono them and kill them, otherwise I can't really run them down. So there's an item that Faceless Void likes to buy that just gives him sustain, but the item has been nerfed because it doesn't pierce BKB, right? But it's very good against ranged cores. Like if you see Viper, ranged core, Sniper, ranged core, no BKB on either of them. Venomancer, ranged hero. Warlock, ranged hero, right? Spectre, melee core, but suffers greatly against it, right? So when you think about it, Scotty comes to your mind. It's like, oh yeah, I can buy a Scotty, right? I can buy a Scotty which gives me a lot of sustain, right? And then on top of that, I can in future I can just buy a refresher. I can use chrono twice. I can use once. I can chrono once on the sniper, and then I can chrono someone else. But the issue here is like, it's like if I don't buy Scotty and I buy this butterfly, it's just like kind of a waste of a gold because I will obviously have attack speed, but it doesn't really help me win this game. But if I buy Scotty, I can just like run them down. They can't really burst me, and you know I can chrono someone and just kill them without really caring about sniper hitting me because I have a lot of HP now and I have a lot of armor from the agility that I get. So there's that. Okay, now you instantly TP bottom. You need to play for Rosh again, right? Since we're on the front foot now, we need to play for Rosh. But do we really care about Rosh? Let's see. Rosh is up since quite a long time. Same mistake again. We're not playing for Rosh again. It's like you have a set of items that you can buy right now. But the main thing that here is that it's Roshan, right? Are we gonna play for Rosh? Okay, we're seeing two heroes here. Golem is used, which means no one can stop us in Chrono except for Viper Nether Toxin. That's the only thing that's left. So we're gonna go here, land the Chrono, go on Sniper, but does this guy not have Nether Toxin? What's going on? Or did he just not use it? Okay, he did use it. Okay, so that's why it's taking so much time for you to kill them. You kill the Sniper. And then Spectre dies, which all of this is going good for you guys, which is nice. Everything's going nice. At this point, it doesn't even matter, I guess. Alright. I would go high ground here, actually. Try to force a buyback if we can. Otherwise, since they're like 2 cores dead, the biggest issue is the sniper. And the sniper is dead. So we can go high ground, but we choose not to. So we should just go Rosh. We should do one of those, at least. Or we're doing neither. Okay, we're just like farming now. Okay, another Rosh timer missed. And now NP is dead. But you're just chilling. Press Q. Use both Linkens and Manta so you can't go in. Spectre's just getting owned by your supports in offlane, which is crazy. Now you can... So this sniper has a pike and Trickster Cloak, but still no short. So you can jump him, but you need to remember that he has Trickster Cloak. I think he doesn't even remember that he has Trickster Cloak. Oh, he does. Nice. He's pogging it up. Alright. So you're tunneling vision on the sniper. Good chrono. You kill him, but now you just have to get out because you don't have BKB. Right? But at this point, it's like your late game is way better than theirs because you're like 2 items ahead of the Spectre. And now it's going good, right? So you start farming. It's fine. But what is this? Holy shit, that was close, actually. Alright. I would region back up with the right clicks, right? Because we have Paladin Sword and Mask. And then take Rush. Guys, take Rush. Take Rush, guys. Take Rush. Are we gonna take Rush? We're probably not going to take Rush. Yep, this is just like a casual thing that happens a lot in low MMR games. People just don't want to take Rush. I don't know why, but it just happens. Which is like the biggest thing, right? You can just literally solo Rush right now, but you don't want to do it. Which is like probably something that's holding you back in terms of improving your MMR a lot. It's like I see you doing a lot of really good things, right? You're understanding the fact that, yeah, I can play to my limitations because they don't have any catch for me. I can keep using my Q. I want to chrono the sniper. I need to focus the sniper. You eventually realize that. And you're like super farmed. You have a lot. Like you're like, in terms of like CS, let's see the CS, right? In terms of like CS, let me just sort this. All right. So you have like 100 more CS than the sniper has, right? Which means that you're farming well. But you should have done this a bit earlier, right? You eventually realized it a bit long, which made the game go super long, right? So in lower brackets, you don't get punished for making mistakes that much because no one really knows how to really utilize the fact that they punished you, right? They can punish you, but then they don't know what to do after that. But in higher bracket games, you die once or you buy the wrong items once, you just get punished for it instantly. Like in this case, you had only 90 CS at 20 minutes. But you realize the fact that I'm just like very underfarmed and I should just keep farming. Utilize the fact that they don't have any catch for me, so I should keep farming. Since you eventually realize that, right, and they didn't punish you for it, you're now top net worth with a lot of last hits. This is good. But the whole idea is that you should realize it before it happens if you want to go to a higher bracket. So now we don't have Aegis, right? But Meepo has it, so we need to just like let the Meepo do the heavy lifting, as in Meepo needs to be the one who goes in first. The Sniper just died to the Axe. So if you think about it, this isn't a game that you're carrying, right? This Axe killed the Sniper before, right? When we were fighting here, he called him because you were just like complete tunnel vision on him. He killed the Sniper, then again he killed the Sniper, and then again he kills the Sniper again, right? So these throws that the Dire team is doing is just out of Sniper doing really good stuff. Not Sniper, Axe doing really good stuff, right? Okay, alright. Okay, at this point I feel like since they're all dead, the game should be over, but let's see. A lot of issues with the itemization, to be very honest. I feel like you could have just like it's like if you play like if this Void is a smurf, right, in this game, then he wouldn't really need to play for 50 minutes to win this game. He would win this game in 25 to 30 minutes, right? Because he would buy the right items. He would make the right decisions. He wouldn't die this many times. He would have 0 deaths. He would have the right items, and he would just end the game really quickly. So the things that I'm discussing here is, you could say, from a Smurf's perspective, right? Because if I play the same game, I would do the same exact things that I've told you. And based on that, the game would be over by 30 minutes, right? Like if we don't buy BKB, we just keep delaying the game because we want to be able to chrono and kill anyone because we just don't have BKB, right? If we don't, if we keep dying, the game keeps getting delayed. If we use our chrono to save ourselves, the games keep gonna get delayed, right? If we don't take Rosh, if we let them have Rosh, the game's gonna keep getting delayed, right? There's like multiple forms of things that are keep gonna happening. So yeah, this is like very important to understand. All right, now Sniper's back up. You have Discipline. You go back, which is nice. Just wait for Rosh, and then play for that. All right, Sniper gets called again by Mr. Axe, right? And I think you should just go in. You shouldn't really hold your Silver Edge or anything because Sniper is so low HP, he won't be able to hit you. You can just go in. And now Sniper's dead. This Meepo, it's like you could just see it. It's like Meepo and Axe doing so much stuff in this game. So you could say that you got semi-carried in this game. Like you did a lot of useful things as well, but in the long run, it's like if let's say you were in a situation where you don't have this Axe and this Meepo doing so much stuff, right? Let's say you're in a situation where you're completely 1v9. Because if you want to really get out of 2k, 3k, 4k, any bracket, you just basically play better than all 2k players out there, right? So if you want to play better than all 2k players out there, it just basically means that you have to play way better than your own team and the enemy team. It means that you basically have to play better than the 9 players in the game. And for that, you should be able to 1v9. Like in this case, if that Axe never calls that Sniper, right? And then you guys are all focused on the Spectre, the Sniper would kill everyone and the fight's over, right? So these small things really matter. It's like choosing our targets, doing different things. And yeah, then you would really get punished for not buying BKB, for giving them Rosh, all those things, right? So at the end of the day, the way you won this game was at the mercy of the Spectre throwing the game twice, not even once, right? She threw this game twice, one with the Aegis, one without the Aegis, right? And then your Axe giving a lot of calls. Like, so if I were you and I had to improve based off of this replay analysis, right? What I would do is that, first of all, I need to have a concrete lane plan. I need to know what type of lane I'm going to be in, I have to visualize it that, okay, yeah, 5 minutes from now or 2 or 3 minutes from now, what's going to happen? What are the things that I'm going to need, right? And then I should have that salve ready so that I never get in a bad spot where I can just die, right? Then after that, I need to have a plan for my itemization. And most of all is just like understanding that, okay, I need to utilize a lot of information on them, which is like probably the biggest thing about it. This is basically called awareness, right? Game awareness. It's like, okay, I'm hitting a jungle camp safely. I can just look at the map, see what everyone else is doing, see what item my team has, what TP scrolls does the enemy have, what items does the enemy have. Because in 2K, no one has TPs. For some reason, everyone's just like TPing around for no reason. They also just show that we just don't have a TP in our inventory, which is like a big thing. Yeah, you can just like have the other side of the map completely for free for the next 80-90 seconds. So utilize that information, then you can take better fights. Utilize that information, then you can play the map better. Utilize that information, you can get better objectives. So this is like the biggest thing that is like wrong about your gameplay. There's like a lot of things that you can work on, but this is like the biggest thing that you should work on. And for everyone else who's viewing this video, this is what, like, there's like a lot of information to work with. You can choose any of the aspects that you feel like would help you. I would honestly say that this player is probably doing a lot of things better than most 2K players. Like, his farming is good. His itemization is somewhat decent. He at least understands that what he needs to be able to just constantly be a menace on the map, right? He knows how to abuse the limitations of his hero. That's like something that most 2K players don't know. Like, for example, this Spectre, right? This Spectre died bot, not knowing that she's not a Void who will just escape. She's not playing against no catch, right? She's playing against Meepo and Axe. She could just always die if she's way out of position, right? That will be it for this video. If you are interested in private coaching and improving, you can join my Discord linked in the description. Please make sure to subscribe and like the video for more high quality content like this. If you'd like to support me and watch exclusive coaching videos, my YouTube membership for $1.99 is in the description. Other than that, I stream on Twitch, which can also be found in the description. Do let me know in the comments if you have any feedback. Otherwise, have a nice day and good luck with your games.